I'm Bullfrog today, and we got M Dot here for y'all.
What it do? What
So
it do? Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
no problem, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you grew up, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shit, I had a normal upbringing. I had a decent childhood. My mom and dad did everything they could. They did a great job raising me. I chose the streets at a young age. You know, I can't put that on them.
Yeah.
Um, Shit, I rap. I got clothing coming out. Do a few things. Trying to get into a couple different endeavors.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what got you into doing music?
So I always loved music, grew up loving music. I started writing music at a young age. I remember being in sixth grade, having little rap groups with my homeboys and shit, different partners in middle school and shit. Uh, what was my first rap group name? It had some shit to do. It was like Clove or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I just always been rapping, and just yeah, I just always kind of been rapping.
So how'd you get your name? Like what made you?
So I used to be MB because that's my initials.
Yeah.
And so MB is just too regular. And so at first it was M dot B dot and then just M dot. And so M dot. But I mean, really, yeah. So yeah, that's how I got my name.
You working on any music right now? Like upcoming music that you gonna drop pretty soon?
Yeah, I got some shit I just did with King Spence. I got some shit I'm working on, some projects, drop some singles, drop a tape. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got some shit I'm working on.
Already. So what brings you back to Tulsa? Like what brings you
Uh,
back?
Shit. I mean, I really, fell out of love with music. I feel like it wasn't giving me what I feel like I was putting into it. Appreciate you. Yeah,
You're
you
welcome,
said
man.
what and so I just stopped. I don't know. I didn't plan on quitting rapping, but I just had quit, and just months went to months and years, and then 5 years. You know, what I mean, I ain't really dropped something new in probably 6 years.
6 years.
What
Nice.
what what was the motivation for you to come back? What's your motivation to come back?
So I got a couple of things. You know what I mean? One thing I'll say is just time and just where I'm at in life. I feel like I've always continued to rap. You know what I mean? The shit ain't left. I mean, I still got shit I've been writing all through the 5 years, and I still was recording every now and then. And but I just just kept all the shit, and I probably got realistically I got 50 songs unreleased that I'll never release, and probably like 20 songs unreleased that I will release.
Okay. So how old was you when you dropped your first song?
So it was a long. I mean, so MySpace. I guess it was on MySpace. Um, I mean, first recorded song. We was recording songs on the karaoke machine. We had the gaming. It was like a computer mic for gaming.
Hmm.
The headset joint, and we hooked it up, and we was using. I don't even remember what that shit was called. It was like a cheap ass little $30 Mixcraft. Mixcraft. I was recording my first shit off Mixcraft, and we had the hack version off of like BearShare, but then we bought it to try to feel like it was gonna be better, but it wasn't better.
So, you completely turned up whenever you were, doing your thing in the music scene, getting songs the next two times of Sparks. What made you take that extra step to like I mean everyone records in Tulsa, but you go to Memphis, you know what I'm saying? Everybody gets, local features and you get features with I mean the next two times wasn't just huge just yet, but now he's massive. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So I was just really that was just natural. I got family in Memphis, been in and out of Memphis my whole life, grew up in and out of Memphis, and so it was just natural. That's my music influence. That's what I bump. That bag just dropped. That shit off the chain. I mean, what I heard of it so far. And so that's just my influence, I feel. And so when I got to taking rap seriously and putting money into it and investing into it, I knew that you get what you pay for. And so I used to look around at studios in Tulsa. And from at that time, and this is like 2016, 2017, really the only studios in Tulsa that really had a lot of money invested into their equipment was only recording rock artists, or like they didn't have nobody that sit in front of the computer and know how to mix also.
Yeah.
And so shit, I went to Memphis and I really got blessed. I got blessed by, so I went to Memphis and how did shit really happen? So I pulled up, okay, so first time I went to Memphis and recorded, I met up with Memphis Track Boy and I did a song with him recording, and he make beats off the chain, but he really can't mix. I mean, he might can mix now, but at that time, he really wasn't mixing. So the shit I did with him, part of that 50 I never released.
Yeah.
But when I recorded with him, like the last hour of the session, he had an engineer come in, and that was Clay. And I linked up with him and recorded then. And then he had me book another session at a different studio with him, and we went to One Sound, and that's where I met Finesse, Rich Lord, Kenny Money. I worked with all of them through Clay, but I was really blessed for that relationship, and it just happened naturally. It just fell in my lap.
What was it that made you actually start taking it serious? Was it like a song that started doing numbers? I mean, what made you say, "Yeah, I'm going to start dumping money into this instead of just recording"?
So at the time, looking back at it, it feels so unrealistic now to feel like, man, if I drop a song and I put this little money behind it, man, I'm gonna blow and I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna take off. That shit used to feel like some shit I could say out loud and believe in. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
I guess that's how it happened. And so when you have more money, you invest more money. And so I knew you get what you pay for, and I always knew I wanted to play with the big dogs. So you got to pay what you weigh and shit. And so that's kind of how it happened, I guess.
So, what styles of music do you do? Just hip hop or?
Rap, I fuck with the auto tune addicting. I love singing on that motherfucker. Love hearing my voice on auto tune. But I really be rapping. I feel like I got a lot of pain music, a lot of shit about what I've been through. I got a lot of music about my environment and what I grew up around and adapted through. But yeah, I feel like it's a rap, a southern genre. Definitely Memphis influence, definitely southern based.
Already in the music.
Can you tell us a little bit about your rap battle when you were in the rap battle league?
Yeah.
You were cold, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'm thankful for first off, I'm gonna say I'm thankful for the Cash RBL shit because of the relationships that I met. King Spencer for one. Like my whole rap shit would be different without knowing Spence. And Jay Burner, that's my boy. And so yeah, that was like just some shit I seen on Facebook. It was Facebook, and I seen them doing it, and we went to one. Matter of fact, we went to one, and it was me, my partner Jay, and my partner Tay, and we pulled up, and it was the first battles, and it was on 6-1 behind the studio, outside. We went to it, and that shit was so live.
Yeah.
And that shit seemed fun. And I never thought I was gonna ever battle rap, but I rap, we freestyled, and we freestyle battled in school, just dissing each other, ragging on each other,
like
shit
in the
like that.
cafeteria and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I hit up Spence, or I think I probably hit up Jay Burner, to be honest.
Yeah.
And put me into it with Spence, and shit from there, I had the first battle, and that shit went lovely, and so it was on from there. You know what I mean? It felt natural, because like, just, I don't know, sometimes it's something about being in front of people that a lot of people can't even talk or think. And I don't know, I have that sometimes. I am shy, but I feel like I was able to really kind of thrive with, like, you know, 100 people outside with them lights on. Like that outside battle rap was different. Like when Cash RBL went inside, that's when, I mean, it was lit inside a little bit when we was able to smoke weed and shit, you know what I mean? But then when they broke that down, and you know what I mean, I understand why they did that too. But
yeah,
that shit was fun though. But shit, I had got out of it just because it kind of had died. I definitely, you know, I thought I was big dog, and so I had just one person I wanted to battle, and you know, and he was ducking, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So that's how it went.
Did y'all ever get one in, rap battle
Nah,
in, or
Ice Cold always ended up ducking me, man.
always end up ducking you?
So you want to get back?
He gonna be in the comments killing me though. Nah, that my boy. He'll tear my head off. But I definitely I eat him up in person though. But they'll watch it on YouTube and be like, oh man, he won. But in person, the crowd gonna be cracking the fuck up.
What was your favorite?
Favorite battle was versus Zulu for sure. Just off top, definitely right away. That's a classic. Yeah, that's a classic. And then out of town, my favorite experience though was going out of town with Spence and Dewan Dupree and some other folks, and going to like Missouri and battling like and really eating them folks up. We really all won and went back and had the home crowd laughing at them and shit. That shit was some lit experiences for sure.
What happened in the 1-3 rap battle?
They actually, one thing people don't know is the way the video is on YouTube ain't how the battle went. I went first in person, but on YouTube they had him go first. I guess because he felt like he wanted to go and get him off. Maybe it made him look better for him to go first and not feel like because I had rapped so hard, like that's why he had choked up. But I fuck with him. Like if he had another chance, he underestimated me or something. He ain't prepared for this shit because he ain't tried, but he had some hard shit. But that night was not his night.
Yeah. So out of rap battles and when you do performing wise, what kind of crowd does your music bring?
You know, white people love to see white people rap, you know, and so I guess I'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that? All right. How old are you now?
Oh shit! My dad, no. That's my first skill. Y'all bullshit. I was born in the 90s though.
90s. Okay.
No,
Okay.
So, Dope Boy, was that your album or mixtape?
It's an album, mixtape. I don't know, both. I don't know.
You say that's the best project you dropped?
Yeah, for sure. It's the one I put the most effort into. Really got care about it, and really to this day still fuck with him and a bump.
What about Bubba Sparxx? You said how you bumped into the rest of them, but you bumped into him over play or what?
No, so he ended up hitting me up on Instagram.
He hit you up.
Yeah, he hit me up on Instagram, hopped in my messenger, just saying I was bumping. And so I hit him back and really, but the way he bumped into me was the famous animal interview that I did. He had said later on that's how he had found my Instagram page. And yeah, Bubba a real one though. That's one person that like brought me to his home city, you know what I mean, and took me around. I mean, I feel like I didn't let him pay for dinner, but I know for sure he was trying to pay for dinner. Like he was on some, like he wasn't trying to charge me for shit. Like he was trying to pay for dinner, like I said, telling me about his like rap career, like younger when he was like really coming up and you know on BET and in the spotlight and shit. And that shit was lit, like seeing it full circle, like, and also seeing that like the normalness in this shit, you know what I mean? And seeing he just a regular person too.
Yeah.
And at that time I was having hella motion. So I really felt like I was having more motion, you know what I mean? And so I felt good about myself at the time, you know what I mean? And felt good about the relationship because he wasn't trying to tax me in. And then he came to Tulsa like a couple months later for a show that just so happened like somebody booked him for the Vanguard, and he came and fuck with me down there too. Had me at the hotel, had me in the backstage fucking with Struggle and a couple other boys, Burden and shit like that. So cool people, they was cool and shit. They all said they were gonna work with me and fuck with me and shit, and they all never responded to me on Instagram. But it is what it is, you know what I mean?
So what was the experience like being in the same?
I hit up Finesse to how I got that feature was I had been following Finesse from like back when he was rapping on just YouTube and Facebook. And and he went by YB, Young Baller.
Yeah.
And then he switched his name to Black Migo. And so I had been followed him and shit and been like, you know what I mean, messaging them saying, hey bro, you bumping, like that man was he been bumping. I guarantee you, ever since he was in middle school, when he used to rap, people used to be like, he the one, he gonna go somewhere.
He gonna blow up.
Because he had that it about him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was watching him on YouTube and shit. And so when he dropped, it was right when he dropped the weed in the pickle jar, riding the rental cars, cushion the pickle jar, that joint. And I hit him up on Instagram, and I don't know if he knew that I was the same person that was on Facebook hitting him up and shit, but I feel like he did. I mean, he hit me back, and we talked some business, and I pulled up and chopped it, and he was with Diddy at the time. That's who he was fucking with, and so I had to chop some business with him, and uh so when I got to the studio, he was actually recording the Moneybag Yo diss. Crazy as that is, now that he got out, he squashed all that shit. But he was dropping the Moneybag Yo diss. That John on YouTube somewhere his diss, but he was dropping that bitch. And the fucking engineer, I guess because I'm white, he thought I was an engineer, and he gave me I left with 2 flash drives, mine and a flash drive that had the Moneybag Yo disc with the radio version and the regular version.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he gave it to me, but I didn't even realize I had it till I left.
Huh.
But he was dropping that joint, and he was with his brother. His brother Bezel was there, and he was, they was in there 5 or 10 deep, choppers and shit. And
Go ahead, my bad.
oh yeah, and I was with Jay, and we chopped it with him and shit. We talked about shooting a video. The video never happened, but shit, we chopped it. Shit, it was on from there.
Yeah. So who do you look up to or admire, if you have anyone?
I mean, so if I admire somebody, I mean, I ain't even gonna go near rap music if we talking about admire, because this shit
Yeah, it could be
hella
anybody.
negative. You know what I mean? Rap music hella negative. Yeah, influences to me. Yeah, my dad. I mean, my dad for sure. Worked his whole life. I mean, my mom and them. Shit.
Do they support your music decision, your career?
I mean, yeah, not career. This ain't a career to them. You know what I mean? It ain't a career to me neither.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But yeah, they support it. They'll bump it in the car. They'll bump it. You know what I mean? They'll be like, my dad'll hit me with a you know what I mean? He don't want to hear that type of shit, but you know what I mean?
What's your do you have a list of your 3 favorite local artists?
3 favorite local artists.
Or 5.
We'll go see when I get to 3 if I got a couple people I need to leave in. So first I'm gonna just say June for sure, gang type. I mean, and as we saying, yeah, we're gonna say fuck it, I'm gonna put him in there because he bumping. Then I'm gonna put Sosa, and then third will be probably who would be third? See, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm untapped. I don't know what the scene like because there's some youngins coming out that look like you gotta lock your car door around them, and they bumping like a motherfucker. They bumping out the frame, and so, but I don't know none of their names and shit. I be seeing them on Instagram and shit. But I'm gonna get tapped in and I'm gonna have a list. Let me just I ain't skipped because we answered the question. But
yeah, no, you answer. You get some answers. So
what do you think's the big change since you've been gone?
Generation. I mean, it's a whole different It's a whole everything different. I mean, the only people still in it from when I was rapping. Let me not say that because then let me not get in trouble. But it's all different. It's all young. I mean, rap is a young game anyway.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting too old for this shit.
If you were to sign to a record label, who would it be?
I mean, I would take opportunities that came at my door that made sense, but I feel like I would stay independent for and hold out as long as I could. But again, I would take opportunities that came at my door that made sense.
Okay.
But you don't have like a certain record label that you like to sign to, nobody that.
Like on some kid shit, my dream record label was CMG for sure. Like Gotti them for sure. KOM.
What's the biggest opening you've done for an artist? You say who's the biggest name you've opened for?
Finesse.
Finesse?
Yeah.
What was that?
In Memphis, there was a show in Memphis at it was like a club. I forgot, it was a strip club, Catwalk. At Catwalk in Memphis. He performed and shit. He let me get on that joint and perform that joint with him.
So Rich Lord's gone now, right?
Yeah. Rest in peace, Rich Lord.
How was the feeling being with Rich Lord?
Yeah. Well, shit, man. Rich Lord kept it real. He was cool as a motherfucker. Like, when I linked with him, like, he came through 2 days and was fucking with us. Like, the first day, he just had so happened to, like, his session was ending when my session was beginning. And he stayed through it, and we was chopping it. We ended up doing a song. And then he knew that I was recording the next day, so he came through and fucked with the session. We had recorded some footage, like we were gonna record a video, but we ain't end up recording one. But he was a genuine person for sure. Like, that was somebody that you could tell was genuine and had a big heart. And you know what I mean? And it's just fucked up how it happens sometimes.
So
Was you gonna be on the gas coming back?
Yes and no. I mean, yeah.
Will you put back in there or what?
No, hell no. No, I'm just dibble and dabble.
Dabble.
What's something you think you could personally work on to improve your music? Yeah.
Be more social, for sure. Let people hear my music more. Walk up to people and be like, "Hey, bro, I be rapping." You know what I mean? That shit's so corny to me to say,
Yeah.
"Hey, you checked out my new shit? My name M. Dot." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then I feel weird when people even know me somewhere anyway. So being more social, for sure.
Okay. Of course, you get writer's block, hope or not, But what do you do about that if you do get writer's block in the middle of something?
Just let it go and just come back to it later on. You know what I mean? This should inspire you at any time. I mean, nowadays with your phone and your notes, I mean, for me though, I feel like writer's block, I definitely have spurts where I don't write no shit with no meaning, but I can just sit here on the phone and write at 16, just bullshitting around putting words together.
What song would you say really started to make an impact on your name around?
I'd say first it was that Flood song. That was like the first rap song I had as a battle rapper, you know what I mean? And then definitely the Finesse song.
Would say the Wicked kind of.
Yeah, that Wicked jump was hard. That jump was definitely a local favorite, I'd say. You know what I mean? That Wicked jump was hard.
Do you feel like your flow matches anyone else in the industry, or do you stand out?
I feel like I stand out because I mean everybody got similar stories and ain't nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
But I feel like the book don't match the cover with me, and it's so much deeper than music. And if people take a chance to just give me a second, I think they'll feel me.
Okay.
Speaking of deeper than music, you and LA Cruz were, we were doing rap battles. I mean, he was kind of Check his pocket.
Nah, yeah, no, that's my boy. That shit was all just rapping shit.
So
That's my guy,
you
man.
guys actually go together?
LA. So yes and no. My day one homeboy Tay is day one homeboys with Paulo, who day one homeboys with Cruz. And so it's like that, like we third cousins. You know what I mean? We third day one homeboys.
Was it true what you were saying in the rap battle, or was it all
Probably not. I don't know what I said. Whatever it was, it probably wasn't true.
So with
Punking
the
him and shit or something? No, that probably wasn't true.
with the Zulu, it looked like it was pretty packed in there. Was there any?
Oh, that motherfucker was wall to wall, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That shit be nerve wracking, but one thing for sure, I come in that bitch and it's like I was so blessed that the crowd felt me from day one. And so the energy, the packness helped me. Like if I jump back in it, to be honest, it might not be the same. If they wonder who the fuck is I, you know what I mean? But yeah, that shit, man, that was probably one of the, besides like the features and shit, that shit was probably my biggest, I'll say, feat. Like really having 150, 200 people crowded in a room, you know, going crazy. You know, definitely I'm the one had them going crazy the most for sure. The roof and the tear off that bitch.
Yeah. Talk about not being social, but I mean that's a pretty big social
event.
I pick and choose. Like, so again, I was blessed. I was blessed with that energy, and everybody knew who I was when I hopped out the car and knew I was finna rap. When I say social, I mean if I'm at a bar right now, I'm not finna go up to no table and be like, "Hey, have you heard my music?" And that's a lot with a tape. And if we at a club and see Sway, I'm not finna walk up doing no dick pulling, asking for no pictures, talking about no shit like that. Like if I bump into him on the elevator, and that's how fate have it, I'm gonna shoot my shot. But I'm not doing no high fives and hey, can I take a picture? None of that with nobody. And that also is part of the rap shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you say your favorite DJ is in the city?
Do you have a favorite DJ out here?
Damn, man, you hear me? So yeah, hell yeah, we're gonna say motherfucking DJ Selly, man. That's my favorite DJ, man. Rest in peace, DJ Selly.
What do you think about rapping over vocals?
That's all I've done. I don't think that's supposed to be how it's done. So I'm gonna switch it up. But that's in the past, that's definitely what I did and what I done. I feel like when you popping enough, you do.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a certain level of popping that you get to rap over your vocals, and then once you get to a certain level after that, and you in stadiums, you can't no more. So.
I know you go out of state, to record, but locally, who would you say some of the best producers or sound engineers, mix and master?
So I'm out the game, but we're gonna stick with Soul Ray, you know, for sure, because we know he gonna get you right for sure. Everybody in the city know Soul Ray gonna have you lit. You know what I mean? But I'm out the game, you know what I mean? And really, and tuned in, you know what I mean? Michael Wayne, you know what I mean? He gonna have you bumping too, like he gonna have you lit too. But I don't know if he recording still or not.
Who's still in the local music scene now that was in it whenever you were doing your thing?
So from what I can tell, Phil Sosa, Cuddy, I guess that's it. Like, I mean, I think everybody's still rapping, but as far as I can tell, like people that come to my mind right now, but I'm sure every single one of them still rapping.
Yeah.
Because this shit usually be a passion. This shit don't pay nobody, it be a passion.
What would you do with your first major check from the music industry if you hit big?
Yeah.
So let's say you get $1 million.
Yeah.
Buy my mama them a house, or buy them an RV or something like a camper.
You still got some left. What else are you doing?
Shit, buying me a house, shit, and making sure everybody's straight. You know what I mean? And then probably trying to invest in something.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any actual rap beef with anybody out here, or
Nah.
no?
Nah.
How did you when you got to do that song?
How did I let go with Cuddy? I don't know, just rapping and being in part of the same circles and just linking up. And I mean, we just I don't know, it just was natural, I guess. We just bumped into each other and both wanted to work.
So how do you respond well to criticism?
I mean, I really don't.
Don't
It
respond.
don't really bother me. At the end of the day, everybody got an opinion. And
Yeah.
I don't look too far into it. All I know they gonna hate. You know what I mean? That's the best part about it. That shit can fuel you if you let it. So you gotta just take that shit and let them, don't believe what they telling you.
Yeah.
And just let this shit motivate
Yeah.
you.
So you got some tattoos. What was your first tattoo?
My first tattoo was my brother initials, rest in peace, on my wrist.
On your
That was my
wrist?
first tattoo.
How old was you?
I was 18 when I got my
18?
first tattoo. Yeah, I was 18.
What's your most meaningful tattoo that you have?
My brother tombstone right here for sure. Definitely gonna be the first one come to mind for sure. And then my second gonna be this one right here. It's got like the meaning of like, you can't trust nobody, double sided, both of them shaking each other's hand, both of them got a gun.
What's hear you in your music say you crash? So your homeboys or brother?
Yeah, that's my brother, man. Growing up, you have your day one sandbox homies, right? And out of them, couple of them turned into a bitch, and a couple of them died and Crash locked up, and so he mean a lot to me, and I talk to him still, and Crash doing well, and he coming home soon for shit show.
So do you have any stories, kind of like most embarrassing stories that you ever had, maybe performing or doing a music video?
Yeah, so one thing, most embarrassing, fuck it, I'm gonna get it out. This one the most embarrassing. Got drunk, right? Then before the show, I done got into it with my bitch. We done got to fighting and and so I go to the show drunk, got to fight with my bitch. I get on this motherfucking mic, get to endorsing fighting with your bitch, And I just think about it today, like I'm so glad that shit ain't somewhere on the internet. You know what I mean? That shit was hella corny. I got number daughters, and so that was some young and dumb shit for sure. And yeah, that was some real cornball shit I did right there, man.
What's your best experience, or give us a couple of best experiences that you've had doing music, maybe being on the road, in the studio? Do you have any good studio stories? Or?
Yeah. So with Finesse, one thing about the Finesse joint, so they put the beat on, right? And then it's the 50 like it's nothing joint. And so I rap the hook and then I come out. And they all sitting there and we smoking and shit, and the engineer getting the beat ready, getting the hook ready, mixing the hook. And then now I'm finna go in there and do my verse. And they ain't saying much of nothing about like rapping. We just talking, chopping it. I go in there and rap. After the beat come off, I heard Finesse like, I told you that boy finna eat that bitch. And so I could just tell that they were probably cracking jokes like, man, this dude finna be in this bitch whack as hell. But when I came out that bitch, they was, respecting it. So that was a good moment for sure. And then, another one is just all the trips, with my partners, with Jay, with Tay, them motherfuckers really was some good memories, going to Memphis and going to Nashville and going to Atlanta and going to Cali and to South by Southwest, man. All that shit was hella fun though.
How was South by Southwest?
Man, that shit always fun, man. That shit always fun. Again, I'm a shy guy, so I don't do no rapping while I'm down there. And I'm not promoting me as a rapper, and I'm not talking to nobody. Like I'm not like, hey, can I get a picture? None of that. And so I go down there just to kick it. Every time I've been, I was with somebody that was not shy, and they was trying to rap, and I'm just like, you know, playing the background.
If you could live anywhere outside of America, where would it be and why?
So they say Canada got that drink. That's what I heard. They say Canada still got that act. But besides that, I mean, I'm going to shit. I don't know. Outside of America, you bullshit. What? I'm not leaving America. I'm right here. You bullshit. I go visit. I'm coming right back. Yeah. You scared me asking that type of question. Yeah.
So what's your biggest accomplishment music related?
Shit. I mean, shit. For me, what I'll say is dropping that favorite local dope boy. You know, having a real project with real, you know, industry standard, everything behind it. You know, that shit was lit.
So what do you think about the industry now?
As far as, I mean, I'm fucking with it. It's a lot of girl rappers coming up, and I'm fucking with that too. You know, that shit lit as a motherfucker. Again, I got 3 daughters, and they be getting lit to all the female rappers. So I'm fucking with it. You know, and shit. So I'm fucking with it. You know, try to move with the times, baby.
What would you say is the most difficult thing being a performance artist?
Shit, remembering your words while you still got everything rushing in your mind, as far as looking at people and not trying to look stiff, and but that shit come natural for folks. But I say for me, that's it. Like everything, just making sure you don't one little slip and you offbeat. You don't remember your words. It's hard to catch back up. Shit like that.
Okay.
A lot of people talking about rapping over vocals, and some people have, they feel a type of way about it. How do you feel about people rapping over their vocals?
So I feel like you ain't supposed to, but in the past I always have. But you definitely not supposed to, and so that's not gonna be something I will do. Hopefully, we'll see.
So when you record, do you do it all in one or do you punch in?
We punching in, but I don't want to take Jake some shit too. But we punching in for the most part.
Can you tell us a little bit about Trap Tay?
Who?
Not Trap Tay, Tay the Rebel.
Yeah, that's my boy. I grew up with him.
So, how did you guys start doing music together?
Shit, middle school rapping. You know, shit. We was shit. That was low key, man. Him being low key, man. We was rapping.
You got some tracks you're gonna be dropping, you coming back too, or?
Yeah, Tay got some shit, man. He been dropping. I mean, just recording shit. We got a little file we sharing shit. Like he got some shit, man. You know, it's just the same type of shit, man. Fell out of love with the shit, man, and just but still rapping, but just ain't been releasing none.
Seems like every time you go to Memphis, you come back with a lot of songs. How many songs? I mean, what are you spending up there? How much time are you spending in the studio?
So I try to definitely get in at least. So when I go, I always go 3 days or 4 days, and I try to get in at least 3 days out of them 4 or 2 out of them 3. And usually it'll be like a 4-hour session if I'm in there. So probably like 12 hours if I get in there.
How long is one track going to take?
So one great thing about Clay is, I mean, he worked fast as hell. By the time you done doing your verse, by the time you done doing, so you rap your verse, then boom, you doing your highlights. By the time you done with your highlights, he got your verse with some cuts in it already and all that shit. Then you doing your ad libs. By then he ready, like you got another verse and he already got the chorus on the joint. Like he worked real fast.
So what would you consider the worst thing being called as an artist?
Unoriginal.
Unoriginal?
Unoriginal.
Can you go into like a meaning for some people that don't know what that means?
Yeah. So you know, people saying that you ain't that this is you just copying everybody else, saying that you stealing
Yeah,
raps. You know, that ain't your song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and your lyrics, type stuff, all that.
Yeah.
Is there any music that you won't ever release?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot in the vault. Like as far as it's some shit in the vault. Like as far as up to my par and standards that I won't release. But it's also some shit up in the vault. Like just when you rap, like it's music has a crazy way of having a time, a moment in your life, and it just don't sound the same, even if it's not heard by anybody. You can still tell that song is 5 years old.
So what about when you're recording and you talk about artists? Some artists feel like you're supposed to be sober when you record. What do you think about
So it's up to you. It's up to the artist. But I will say, don't get in that bitch and be slurring and shit, man. I mean, I'm not having to record you, so thank God. But you know, I done had my days behind the computer trying to record motherfuckers. And if you drunk and can't talk, you know, and really all, you know, all drugs, you know, I mean, marijuana, you know, is different, but all drugs have a negative effect in any social environment to me. But you know what I mean? So stay away from drugs. Smoke weed, but stay away from that other shit.
So, would you consider yourself, a smoker or a drinker, or both?
I'm a smoker. I'm a smoker. You know, I
Smoker.
drink on occasion, but I'm definitely a smoker. But we're gonna quit this shit one day too.
$1,500 shoes. What happened to you still be buying ridiculous shoes like that or what?
I mean, I got some shit put up. I still got all this shit put up too, but yes and no. I mean, definitely do, but man, the kids catching up to me, man. With one kid, I was still able to shake and shimmy, but with three, yeah, these shoes is few and far between, man. They need shoes, not me.
How old is your kids?
So I got a 14-year-old, a 1.5-year-old, and an 8-month-old.
All girls.
All girls, man. God playing jokes, man. God got some jokes with me. And I thought I was a player growing up. That's that's the craziest shit though. Like, if anybody would have told me, like, yeah, you think you a player, you gonna have girls, man, that shit wow.
Someone just mentioned your video of you having a gold mask on your face. After your haircut, you still get gold mask on your face and get a haircut?
Nah, hell no. I still pay the same fucking price though, but no, he don't do that fancy shit no more. Nah, you know, but haircuts high as a bitch though, man. Well, we can talk about that, man. Why haircuts so goddamn high, man? A haircut be like $40, $50 on the low end from somebody you don't know, and then you really pay, you know, 100, you know, 75 to 100 for somebody exclusive, and that shit be ridiculous, bro. Supercut still will cut you for 23, but you're gonna get some bumps on the back of your head. So you know what I mean, we're gonna rob the barber, you know, and we're gonna make them lower their prices. I mean, I'm coming, Chubbs. I'm on your ass.
Okay, so saying theoretically, like, what would you do if one of your daughters, like your oldest one, come up to you and said she wanted to do music like you?
I'm gonna support it for sure. Not like me. I don't want to be nothing like me, but I'm gonna support it. I'd love her to. I'd love her to do music. I definitely am gonna support it for shit show. I'm gonna support anything she do, except do some drugs or bad shit.
Bad stuff, yeah.
I'm really not that supportive, but I support the good shit.
Yourself as you're coming back, got anything that you want to, the goal you want to meet? Are you setting any goals coming back, or is it just I'm here, that's what happens?
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to. My goal is I'm trying to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. You hear me?
There you
So
go.
what about some artists that you would like personally work with?
Yeah.
Talked about the ones that you think is the hottest out here right now, the top artists. What about artists you'd like to work with?
So I definitely got to get with Kane and them. That's off top. You know, now that I'm back, you know, we got to work. And that was awkward because like everybody know that's your voice right there, and so it's awkward as fuck. They really feel like you done like put me hostage, blink twice if you know what I mean. I wasn't. I had to say that. They made me say I gotta work. I want to work with Kane. He really told me I had to pick him on the rapper shit, but But no, you for sure gotta work with you. And then shit, I mean, I'm down to work with anybody, man. I'm trying to meet some of these youngest, man. I ain't trying to meet them for real. I'm just trying to record a song with them. I don't want to know them though, because they look like they vicious. They some savage. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to do a song with them.
So we were talking about the games on the interviews. We kind of brought you up. How do you know the games of each other?
Yeah, so I slightly, I slightly grew up with him. His brother was my homeboy, really, but and he was my homeboy too. I really met him first hooping, but in my neighborhood growing up, like when we was kids, a funny story about him is so when I met him here, first thing, you know what I mean, and no disrespect, you know what I mean no disrespect. But as a kid, now I can remember that that's the first house that I smelled weed. Because my parents, they smoked, but they kept this shit on the super low.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know about weed until I was 13 off my parents, but off of him, and I didn't know it was weed. But off them, I used to be like, man, they house smell weird. But now I know it was weed. But he was the first person that showed me instrumentals. He showed me SoundClick and showed me how to download like say like Lil Wayne, no ceilings type beat type shit.
So when was the first time that you smoked weed?
So the first time I smoked weed, I said 13 just then. I think it's 12. I was probably 12. And I found my dad's weed. He'll kill me. He ain't gonna watch this, but he'll kill me for this. I can't show him this shit now. I found his weed on the top of the fridge outside in the garage. And I had a badass homeboy that I knew what weed was. Like, he badass kid. And so I grab a weed, go to his house, we go to the park, boom. I fake smoke though. And I get saved by the bell. My dad pull up. And so I leave the weed with my homeboy.
Yeah.
And I go to the car, my dad tripping. He know I found the weed. But he ain't tripping wanting the weed back. He like on some like, he was scared, like I'm gonna get in trouble with the weed type
Yeah.
shit. And he didn't think, I never smoked before. He like, damn, now I got introduced to weed. But that was my first time like hitting the weed, but I ain't inhaled. I was fake smoking.
Yeah.
But then after that, in the 7th grade, so by I guess 7th grade, you probably you 13 in 8th grade. So I was probably, or it might be 9th grade. So I'm in the 7th grade. So that was probably 6th grade. 7th grade, smoking. I smoked with a friend. His dad had some weed, and he stole it from his dad. His dad had it in a little nightstand. He stole it. We smoked. Man, I got so motherfucking high. I came to the house eating food up. That, man, I blew up. I got so fat that 7th grade year when I fell in love with weed, man. I blew the fuck up. I was a skinny kid. I played sports. I used to be a fast runner. Man, I fell in love with weed, started eating like a motherfucker. That's what gave me away. That's how my parents used to know I was high. Because I eat up everything. Get everything. Cooking. They used to make it where they are not buy shit that you can cook at night. Like, they ain't buying shit. Like, no raw meat. Everything got to be completely frozen. Because they know I ain't going to, like, thaw the shit. So,
yeah.
Ooh, I used to be on their ass.
What's the first time you introduced yourself to street life?
Shit. That shit really introduced itself to me, in middle school. You start hanging with the wrong crowd, and one thing leads to another, and you feel like you owe people or people owe you something. And so, I mean, I was in the 7th grade, though, to be specific.
Yeah. We all had them. So, like, what's your first fist fight you got into, and what was the outcome?
First fist fight, I probably lost. Let me think. First fist fight, very first one. I think I was in like the 4th grade, walking home from school. I used to try to kick. In all my fights, I was trying to kick because my feet are longer than my arms, so I'm trying to kick your ass. I just remember that, but I feel like I lost.
Feel like you lost?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I feel like I fought. The dude's name was Junior, and I feel like I lost. He ended up being my homeboy though.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I lost. Just knowing me as a kid, like green as a motherfucker, like I got my ass whooped.
What would you say is the most serious time that you really had to go through because you put yourself in the street life?
I mean, shit, from shootouts to police shit, running from the police, all that type of shit. But I ain't glorifying none of that shit. It's hard not to put that shit in that music. So it feel like, you know, rappers is glorifying this shit. But I think a rapper will agree that ain't nothing cool about that shit, man. And that shit don't lead to nothing but jail or dying.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I done been through and seen a whole lot of shit, but nothing nothing like that I'm proud of.
Your first music video?
Flood. MB. I was MB Flood.
And so for me, my first music video was kind of like felt kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel kind of nervous? Or
Yeah,
just
definitely.
kind of awkward?
Definitely nervous. I remember making a big deal about the outfit. You know, trying to come up with like scenes in my head, ideas of what we're gonna do in the video, shit like that. Where we're gonna be. We gotta go to the projects. Let's make sure we gotta hit the hood, man. All right.
Out of all your songs, which one would you put first? Like, give me your top 4 songs.
Your favorite.
Yeah.
My top favorite songs, I mean, really, they're gonna be shit ain't nobody heard probably, but my top favorite that somebody heard, I'm gonna just do the finesse joint. I'm gonna do the wicked joint. I'm gonna do pressure 2.0, and I'm gonna do that they gonna hate it, they gonna hate it.
So what's like your? Give us like a example of like your daily life, like what you do.
Yeah, man, shit, I'm a working man and I'm a father, and so that's that's a whole lot of the day right there.
Yeah. For sure.
I got 3 kids and I'm a full-time dad. Um, and that shit great. That shit a blessing, but that shit is a stressful time. 2 babies crying at the same time. That shit a whole different level. Like if you ain't never experienced 2 little babies crying,
Mm-hmm.
that shit make you just we.
Saying on no plugins. So now let's just keep this weed illegal. You know what I'm saying that on there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you say I did, I probably did. That's definitely how I felt at that time. Yeah, everything changed for sure. You know what I mean? I never been a, just a heavy, into none of the heavy drugs, and so at the time, 2000, really I'll say 2013 to 18, man, shit was on smash, and so weed getting legal fucked up all of that for sure. But at the end of the day, looking back on it, that was on me for not having enough motion to just get a dispensary and shit. You know what I mean? That was on me. So
When's the soonest somebody looking for a show?
man, just get in my DMs, man, and holler at me, man. I'm bookable, man. I'm working.
What about features? You got a feature price?
Yeah, man. Holler at me and we're gonna talk numbers, man. But I'm working, man. If you a consistent rapper and you put money in your craft elsewhere, and I can see that you put money in your craft elsewhere, you probably ain't gonna have to put money in your craft with me.
What's something that you would tell an up and coming artist, someone that hasn't been through all the experiences that you've been through?
It costs to play. It's a pay to play game. So that's the first and foremost thing. If you out here broke completely trying to rap, you know what I mean. It's over with.
Do you have any comments that you'd like to say? Any shout outs to people?
Free crash, man. Rip record, rip savage.
All right. How many times have you performed?
Probably like 5 or 10 times total. All nervous wrecks, you know what I mean?
Which one did you feel like stood out the most, like you did the best on?
I think I had maybe 1 or 2 that was decent, mediocre.
Decent.
But it would have been I think the best one would have been at the Yeti back when it was open downtown.
Downtown?
Downtown, man, them folks used to give you love. So
Oh,
it used
yeah.
to be a good energy down there. I mean, it still be. I don't be in the scene no more.
Yeah.
But it used to be good down there.
Get your mixtape. You ran it through DJ Big Rich, right?
Yeah, I worked with Big Rich before, and I got some shit with Wally, man.
What made you want to do that extra to your mixtape?
Because I feel like, again, it's pay to play, and at the time I ain't had no relationship with him, and if you trying to meet somebody that got some motion just in the world, anywhere in life, every companies do the shit. If Walmart trying to get Ford to fuck with them, they gonna go buy Ford some dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I wanted Wally man to fuck with me, so I hollered at him, hey, let me get a mixtape host. You know what I mean? I wanted Big Rich and them to fuck with me, so I did some business with Big Rich. That's what you got to do. Go do some business with them folks. If you a rapper and you want to do business with these people, and you wonder why they not fucking with you, you dropping on their comments, you on their lives and shit, bro, hit them up talking money, doing business. They got different services. They usually have some type of service fee type shit they'll send you. You know, talk money with them and do some business with them. And then you can get in the door trying to talk some other shit with them.
Right now, where can we find your music?
Say it again.
Where can we find your music right now? What do we gotta look up?
YouTube, Spinnerilla, Dat Pill. That shit got took off Apple Music. Just look up M. Benjamin. And you gonna find that shit, man.
What's the reason for changing the name?
I just ain't really fucking with it, man. I'm just it's a new me, a rebirth, man. I'm reincarnated.
So do you have like any trades links that we can put in the description?
Yeah. I'm gonna drop them over there somewhere.
All right. You guys heard it here first. Thank you for your time. This is the outlet where we
Stay plugged in.